Welcome back, Alex. Survivor.
Back, baby! Survivor.
Survivor Guatemala.
Guatemala.
If you're new to the channel, Survivor is a staple. We do it pretty much every week. We're talking about Survivor, except for we've been taking breaks between seasons now to watch Black Mirror. But you can go back on the channel. There's a playlist with every Survivor video we've done. We've done reviews of every season, and we've done reactions to every episode since Survivor Thailand, baby.
Yeah.
Right, we
started off real strong with that one, right?
Yeah. But it always gets a mention because it's the first series we did reactions to.
It does, yeah.
But we've done so many seasons now, and we wrapped up Survivor Palau. You know, where Tom smooth talked his way to the win.
Yeah. Or it's Tom gaslit his way. He gaslit his way to the end. That was our joke about the towards the end there. But
we're here at Survivor Guatemala, the Maya Empire. All right, it's a new season. It's a new. We're in the double digits of Survivor. You know, we've passed the first 10. Onto new ventures here.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. New cast, new everything. They're actually apparently living in a one of the structures. It seems like that's what they were teasing, at least in the
very different locale. Very different locale here. Been getting used to like the typical like beach environment for a bit here, but we're gonna take it to a different direction here. So, and if you don't know, by the way, I've been taking him through this chronologically, so he doesn't know anything about future seasons. So everything's within the context of this is the year 2006, 2005 when this first came out.
So I'm a newbie. I don't know a whole lot about anything. I mean, I literally don't know anything past this. I've taken a vow of secrecy. I've had actually people like tell me, oh, there's this thing I was hearing about in Survivor, and I was like, oh, before you say anything more, what season are we talking about? And then I have to basically tell them that they can't tell me. So like I'll have to leave the room or just be like, yeah, don't talk anymore about it to me, please.
There's so much history in this show. Season 42 starts as we're filming this. The episode probably just finished, the first episode of season 42, and this is season 11. So
got a long way to go here.
But it is beautiful. We get to watch the game develop naturally as it does. So all right, as always, you can click the link in the description to see the highlights of a reaction and then come back afterwards for the discussion. Okay, Survivor Guatemala premiere.
This is it. New season.
All right, well, there you have it. That's the premiere of Survivor Guatemala. How you feeling, Alec? Jim's been voted out.
This is like difficult to watch because of how brutal it is. This brutality. This is like I talk about like the survival aspects of Outback quite a lot, but like this is already making its case for like, yeah, Outback's baby's first Survivor. Look at this. An 11-mile trek through the jungle. 24 hours is what it took, which makes complete sense to me. You could probably hike a good 11 miles on a hiking path, which they didn't have. So you're pretty much just hoofing it through thick jungle. So it's like, it's brutal. They have to navigate. They have to figure out how to navigate. The directions seem like they were pretty good, but you know.
But it's the toughest thing they put Survivor players through yet.
Yeah. And they did it to everyone at the beginning.
Yeah.
of the whole thing. So
I mean, that's like a wild thing to do. It's pretty epic, but
at
the same time, it like kind of diluted any strategy from the beginning of the game here, because now it's just like who's dying more. This is how
it's just like everyone's dying. Like it was because it was a team that won the challenge, the ones because they tried the hardest, arguably, and they're freaking dying. Though they didn't win by that substantial amount. Yeah, but
that's what Jeff's saying. You gotta find a way to work hard without working too hard.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, which is like, but that's hard to. How do you figure that? Yeah, how do you figure that out on the first day though? You know, it's like So now they have to spend the next few days because like when you're dehydrated, the level like Bobby John was dehydrated. That's not like you're up and at him in a couple hours. It's like that's a couple of days. You're just probably gonna knock you out in normal conditions, and you're still losing a lot of water, and you're still having to exert yourself.
Hopefully they're recovered by the next vote or somewhat recovered. But I mean, they already did a preview of Blake still struggling apparently. So
yeah.
But yeah, the big twist they introduced right in the beginning here is that the return of Bobby John and Stephanie from Palau.
Yeah, which is interesting because they teased it at the beginning of the end of the last season at the reunion, but it's like already in the works. Stephanie and Bobby John at it again. It's like okay.
Yeah. So I mean that's kind of cool. Like give the last two members of that tribe a chance. It's still not like a fair chance. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say fair or unfair. I guess you have to see how it plays out. Whether it's a disadvantage or an advantage, having played before, it could go both ways. But
Bobby John's already having a hard time. I mean, he looked like he was struggling the most from the water loss. He collapsed, and then when they finished, then he got back to camp and he was having trouble. He was almost passing out. It was like his eyes were rolling back in his head, and they were like, Bobby John,
yeah.
Huh? What? I'm here. And it was like he was delirious, and I was like, this is kind of scary. Like, geez, really putting him through the ringer here.
Yeah, if Jim didn't go mess up his shoulder like that, we would have had a more interesting. Probably would have been between Bobby John and Blake then.
Yeah. Yeah, Jim popped his arm out of his socket or something. I don't even know what he did. He tore a muscle, I think, and and Blake had a branch fall on him, and it was a big spiky thing. It was just you couldn't. Well, the quality of the video that we had was really bad, so we didn't even really see it. But it literally looked like all they captured on footage was like them just walking, and then all of a sudden you hear him go ah! And it was it was this big spiky branch fell on his arm, and I'm like, oh, cool.
So it's interesting because Bobby John and Stephanie had seemingly a rough go of it the first time around, but now they come out here and they're just put into these miserable conditions right out the gate. And Stephanie did win her first the first tribal council she did not attend.
Yeah.
In her time playing Survivor, so that's a milestone.
Yeah, I'm sure she's going to be happy about that at the beginning of next episode when they talk about it. So, but
win immunity. Any notable people that stood out to you?
Gary, I'm interested in Gary because he's an ex-NFL player. I like that's an interesting thing, and he's just no, run a little landscape business.
Gary Hawkins.
Hawkins is my name. Yeah,
and he's the older guy in that tribe, bunch of 20-somethings there.
Yeah. No one else has really done too much. The bada bing, bada boom guy, who I think what was the profession he said he was? He was he's a doorman or something like that, I think he said.
Hotel doorman, yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like an interesting character. Jeff asked him a question, and he was like, well, he kind of went on a whole, spiel about something, and Jeff was like, I literally just asked you a question. I'm not accusing you of anything. It was pretty funny. So that's interesting. We have the nurse lady. She seems like a nice, warm, compassionate lady. I don't remember her name. But yeah.
Who would you award your MVP to for the episode?
It's so hard for this episode. First of all, because we could hardly see anyone. Because if it was 240p, 144p video that we had.
Unfortunately, we had to undergo almost as grueling conditions as our players did here.
Yeah, brutal.
This is the level of privilege we've ascended to, where 240p is the equivalent of an 11-mile trek.
Can I give it to the howler monkeys?
The howler monkeys,
I can't really
see them very clearly.
Yeah, I couldn't really see them either, but they were made themselves known, that's for sure.
One of the players decapitated one of them halfway through the track.
You better have saved that conversation in our reaction, because that was
It didn't take long for our players to turn to absolute savagery.
savages, complete and utter. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I guess I'll just give it to Gary. He's the guy that stood out the most to me, because I like the whole ruse. It's kind of cool. It's like, they don't need to know. They don't need to know I'm an NFL player, or was in the NFL. They don't need to know that. And if anyone recognizes me, I'm just gonna say, no, you're wrong. That's not me. That's not me. I'm Gary Hawkins. I was like, that's great. I like that.
Yeah.
So we already have subterfuge. Yeah. I will say, I mean, I think the episode did an excellent job of the man versus nature kind of concept of the show. We have yet to have any of the huge interpersonal sort of conflicts, though it looked like Stephanie was getting pissed off at a couple of people in her tribe because they were slacking off a little bit.
Yeah, but we really didn't get much,
hike. Nothing really.
Dynamic on the tribes, so... Hopefully episode 2 we'll get to see all that a little more clearly and literally see the episode more clearly as well.
Yeah, which I think we will. I mean, even it was weird because even the preview for next episode, it was like night and day. It looked like a completely different show.
It went out a
watching.
little bit. There was a little part where it went out again.
Oh, okay. It's like maybe they didn't encode it right or something. I don't know. Something's wrong.
It's rough.
But, yeah.
It's rough.
That's it. Survivor Guatemala, episode 1. It's a brutal episode. But that's going to stand out to me for a long time, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Just when he was like, 11-mile hike. I was like, what?
Right.
That's a lot, man.
Yes, it'll be fun. I mean, we still obviously get to see anything really shape up here. So the premiere, you got to see a little bit of their faces. Got this epic trek, but we'll get a lot more to go into. So come back next week for episode 2.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this is probably outdated at this point, but I haven't decided exactly what I'm doing for Survivor 42 yet. So that might be something, if I decide to do videos on those 2, that might be something you could check out as well if you want some modern Survivor. All right. But thanks for watching.
I know nothing about any of that.
Yeah.
Modern Survivor? What is that? Ha!
If you click the link in the description, you can send some feedback to us, any comments you might have or input for this episode. We might respond to it in the future. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, do you have any videos people should go check out? Other Survivor content besides your possible stuff, or maybe something else. Maybe they're in the mood for.
You should probably go watch Survivor Palau episode. How about the episode where Bobby John does not get voted off, but he loses a fire-making challenge to Stephanie?
Is that the episode 8, episode 9, something like that?
I don't remember what episode, but I will know when I see it.
Okay, I'll know when I see him.
It's called like Oolong's Demise, I think was what I named it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
it was.
Check that out. Where it all ended for Bobby John.
All went down. All went down there.
So click links in the description for all our social media and come back next week. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.